to another episode of Does It Podcast. Here we are today with
Giovanni Soto.
All right, bro. Shit, where we coming from, bro?
I'm from Runner Park, but I always say Santa Rosa because not many people know what Runner Park is, but it's like a 5-minute drive.
5-minute drive.
It's like right before Santa Rosa.
Okay, for sure, bro. Shit, you grew up out there?
Yeah, bro. I was born in Santa Rosa.
Oh.
And yeah, it was kind of weird actually. I grew up in Santa Rosa, lived in there for a bit, and then moved to Runner Park. But then I came and went from Mexico actually until I was like 8-9 years old.
Okay, so you stayed out in Mexico till then?
Yeah, like every 6 months we came. I came and went with my parents, and yeah, so I did like part of my schooling over there, and then part of it here.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah, that's dope. How was it growing up out there?
It was honestly probably like the best that could happen because I got to experience a lot of like the rancho lifestyle. So it's like playing in the mud, like out in in the middle of nowhere, basically, like near the mountains. Getting dirty like a little kid I feel should, and like experience what nature is and all that. So it was pretty badass.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah, not like over here, and
Nah, dude, everyone like now kids nowadays are like glued to the screens
yeah. Bro, no outside activities.
Nah.
No, that's how it be, but shit, that's dope. But shit, bro, what do you do? Like, I know you're talking about the art and then your photography, right, and videography.
Yeah, so I like to say that I'm a fine artist. So a lot of my work is basically creating art with based off of cannabis. So my influence is how cannabis has been used as a medicine, and kind of like storytelling how I've been able to help specifically my family with it, and kind of display the medicinal aspects of it, like how it's used to heal certain things that like modern day medicine, like pills and stuff, would try to kind of not treat, but in a way, how do I say it? Almost like alleviate pain in a sense, right? Okay. So like you take ibuprofen, you take Tylenol or whatever. I'm just like, I'll make you a little bit of tea, and then that pain will go away for a bit.
So the organic way.
Yeah, so it's like a organic medicine basically.
No, hell yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, so I was kind of like just starting to make artwork about that, and about what my perception of life as being a Latino, right, is in old California, or also just like in a poor neighborhood, basically. Like my perspective. And so I make drawings, I make paintings, I do for like photo shoots, photography about it can be like setting up scenes, almost like a still life, right? Like putting things together and then photographing and then explaining what that scene means. Or it could be capturing a moment, whether it's a part of like a party, or like a moment of happiness, like two people meeting together after a long time or whatever. Like there's that joy that comes from the emotions and like the sadness. So I like capturing a little bit of that. So it's like making it as emotional, personal, and like unique as possible.
Okay, a deeper meaning to it.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, I've always been told that like the best artwork is like the personal artwork. So it's it goes hand in hand with.
I know, yeah, definitely the one that actually has a meaning to it, not just drawn out there.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's dope. Hell yeah. How long you been doing that for?
Well, I actually just graduated from my master's like a couple months ago.
Oh, shit,
yeah,
congrats.
so I got my master's, but I've been doing art since I was little, bro. Probably like elementary school, I always doodled.
Okay.
I struggled with English growing up because of coming and going from Mexico.
Yeah.
So the only way I could really kind of focus was drawing, right? And even when I couldn't focus, it was seen as a way to escape, kind of.
Yeah.
Like I just got frustrated, like, I can't pick this up, and I would just draw, and it turned into like an obsession basically, which led to me in a way like not paying too much attention in school, but paying more attention into like the drawing aspect. And then the language came in, and then I lost my Mexican accent, and yeah, so it came out of like frustration and anger. Like it's the same thing that I
Yeah.
try to capture now in my artwork, like out of frustration, anger, and like sadness in a way.
Okay. Hell yeah. No, that's dope though. Shit. That's kind of deep right there. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Dope. And then other than that, like how long do you have a page where you're working on to putting all your stuff at, or how does that come about putting it out there?
Yeah, so actually Instagram Jiobuzzed Jiobuzzed. So the Instagram I started probably like close to 10, if not a little bit more longer ago. And that came because one of my nieces hit me up and she's like, you do art. And I was like in the high school. She's like, you do art, why don't you put it out there? And I was like, why would I put it out there? Like, like this is for me. Like no one's gonna want to look at this, but she talked me into it, and she told me like, use hashtags for people to,
Yeah.
find out or whatever. And I'm like, nah, if they want to see it, they'll find it. But I didn't know algorithm and things.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
yeah, so I just started doing that, and little by little, I started, including my artwork on the page, and then up to now, it's been more focused on strictly like art projects.
Uh-huh.
So I'll post projects like whether it's a painting or whether it's a drawing or photo shoots that I do.
Okay, that's dope.
Yeah, so it went from something a little personal at the beginning to still personal, but with direction.
Put a little more out there, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's dope. Tell me also, you do like photography and videography. Oh, you did for some artists?
So I started practicing with one of my cousins. He has a Serreño band,
Oh, okay.
grupo, and they were just starting up, and I was like, you know what, and I'll help you out with this. And I just started doing their photo shoots, and little by little, I was like, you know what, like if they're gonna do a video, and they did like off the phone, I was like, I got a camera, let me practice, with you guys.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I started doing that, and it wasn't nothing big, but it got me the practice. And then recently, I've been doing more of like events when like grupos come together and then they play, whether it's in public or at like venues, and I just show up, take pictures, send it to them, and it allows me to get practice, but also get a little bit more exposure.
Oh, hell yeah, for sure. It gets you networking with people that you didn't know, man. I mean,
Yeah.
Shit, I feel that too. Shit. I mean, that's how we met, right?
Yeah, that's how we met.
No, that's dope. Hell yeah, bro. That's sick. So you still doing that with them and stuff, or like with other people, or how do you still? Because I be seeing that you sometimes you go like to those grupo concerts and all that, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, they post that they're gonna be at a certain spot, and if I have the day free or like that night, I make time, and I'm like, you know what? Like if I know ahead of time I want to go, and I'm gonna make everything possible to have that time off, I share it, so if people want to go, they could also go, and then that adds more to the environment, but also like it's almost like foreshadowing, like, oh, I'm gonna be here, type of thing.
So it's like shit.
So I just go whenever they post it if I have the chance, and if not, I try to make time still. But yeah, so it's an ongoing thing still.
All right, hell yeah. Shit, that's cool though. Shit gets you connected, and hopefully you work gets you some work with some people too.
Yeah.
No, cause that's. So where are you trying to go push this? Cause I know I seen you guys got some new stuff for your videos, right?
Yeah.
So how are you gonna push that towards, or what's your plan with working on that?
So the video stuff, I just bought some equipment for my camera. It's not like the best camera, but the more you spend on the equipment as well, it just adds more to it, the quality. And it comes from me being younger. Like I always liked video work, and I've always wanted to include video work in my art, specifically like when I do installations and stuff. So one of the projects that I eventually want to do is have like some type of cinematography in my work, right? And then have it be presented either as not a movie, like a mini documentary or something.
Okay.
Whether it's about me or other people, and it's so it's for me to practice more of the cinematography behind that type of work, and also just to explore, right? So like I've been doing photo shoots, but like what would it be like if I did like a little video of what it's like behind the scenes of going to these events and like, you know, what those people are like. People usually see them when they're performing, but they don't see the human aspect of them, right?
Oh yeah.
They just see the like the act, in a sense, like the acting that they do, right?
Yeah.
Like playing out the music and stuff, but they don't know who they are, right?
Or the background.
The background, yeah. But like, yeah, it's a little bit of that.
That's dope. So you basically kind of doing like the behind the scenes and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope though. Shit, that's more like shit. You blogging the whole thing and going like before they get up there, how they talk. Cause you know, once they're up there, you think like the way that they're talking or presenting the music, you think that's how they live or whatever.
Yeah.
But then in reality, sometimes a lot of people are hella different than what theme.
Yeah, and even then too, it's like the life we live online is portraying a lot different than what we live in real life, you know?
No, hell yeah.
Like
Sure.
I've been told to like, oh, you know, you're always going out, this and that, and I'm like, I'm going out, but I'm not partying, you know?
Yeah.
And then like, yeah, I'll drink, but it's like I'm still doing the photo shoot, I'm still doing the recording. I'm there with a purpose. I'm not there to specifically have fun. Fun comes with what I do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it's not like my main focus.
No,
My main focus is to get the work done, and obviously have fun while I do it. Cause like what's a working a job that you don't like?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you enjoy it the most, it'll be fun.
No, definitely. Hell yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes the same thing. You just gotta live life too, and then what's cool though is like how you said, what you doing, the fun comes with it too. So it's like, but you working though. So
yeah.
So that's that.
Yeah, and that's also how I approach when I'm making artwork, right? So like if I'm working on a painting or a drawing or an installation, I focus on kind of like the idea of the project.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm painting, I'll have a few beers. I'll smoke a little bit. So it's like to get me in the zone and just work long hours. Same thing with like installation work. I'll do that meanwhile I'm working because it's just like a easy way to just get through the long hours. But also because in a way, like most of my work is based off of celebrating events or just ideas, getting ideas out and being more like story driven, right?
Okay.
So for example, one of the pieces that I did was the most recent one was a painting that is made with clay and oil paint. So that piece, I was just exploring different materials and how I could make different artworks using different materials, specifically cannabis. But I've been able to paint with the ashes. I've been able to make drawings with the ashes. I've been able to use the leaves to like rub the pieces, like the drawings on, kind of like staining the paper, mixing it in my paint. But I hadn't been able to use clay. So like it was messing with me. I was like, oh man, I gotta figure it out. And then one day I just blended it in to the clay and added water, and it's like a specific medium. It's slip and it's like used to smooth out the clay when you're working on like bigger pieces. And I was like, you know what? I'll just paint with this, and it just happened. But like it happened out of frustration. It happened out of anger. It happened out of like disappointment in myself that I wasn't able to grapple with it, and it wasn't specifically coming out how I expected it to.
Yeah.
But it came out. And I just accepted, like, why do I have to control this, like, material, right? Like, what inside of me is making me want to control it? So it just allowed me to get, like, into my head a little bit. And, like, I finished that piece, and I got it reviewed by my committee, my thesis committee, and they're like, dude, this is it, So then I was like, oh, man, this came out of, like, anger. I wasn't even going to show it, this and that. But it turned out to be, like, one of the pieces that kind of demonstrated a lot, like what exactly I was trying to do.
Okay, so it was like that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick though. Shit. But I mean, I guess it takes a lot of patience when you're doing that too, right?
Yeah. It takes a lot of patience, but the way I look at it is, it's time invested in myself.
Oh yeah.
Right. Like if it's like any job, like the more time you spend on that job is in a sense working for you.
Yep.
And that art piece, like if I cheat the artwork and I just don't put in the time, don't put in the effort, it's it's not gonna feel like it's my piece, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Hell yeah. Because you're putting in all that work into all
Yeah.
your, how you say, all your emotions, your feelings. So,
Yeah.
no, that's sick. That's cool. Hell yeah, bro. And where do you see your like your artwork from 5 years to now? Where do you see it going? Or what's your goal with that?
Honestly, my goal is to just be a showing artist
Uh-huh.
and have my artwork viewed by more people than it is being viewed now. Like right now, I have, um, I've been in a few shows, like in galleries, and I'm actually gonna have a piece in the San Francisco airport,
Oh, sick.
like it's a portrait piece, and it's made out of cannabis ink. But my ideal way of it being viewed is just in different galleries like throughout the U.S. and still having that topic of like cannabis as a material, but also like the background story of like how it's medicinal.
Okay.
So that'd be my end goal, just to get into multiple galleries around the U.S., hopefully abroad, because then that would be touching like country lines, and then you're talking about like, oh, is he sending weed or like across the
That's
country,
kind
or
of
is
like
it, and it's just to touch on like the legality aspect of it, and to not push boundaries but bring up the conversation of like what exactly is medicinal and what's not. It's because it has cannabis has this notoriety of like just recreational use. Everyone just smokes to get high, but it's like a lot of people are relying on it to keep going with
life.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it is a medicine. That's
Yeah. It's a medicine.
And some people you say like the actual people that need it, like they use it for medical reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps, but then a lot of people view it like people just trying to get high.
Yeah, I mean, then it's one of those things too. Like, what's wrong with getting high, right?
Yeah,
people,
exactly.
drink, and
same thing.
it's the same thing, and it's just it's been one-sided, like a lot of the time, and a lot of people get scapegoated because of it. They get blamed, and yeah, so it's also touching on that, and like what I like to do also is like help people understand, specifically the Latino community. We're really close-minded, and a lot of our parents or our grandparents, they're like, somebody wants, don't let ask caso, stay away. Yeah. And like it's not really like that. Like a lot of the homies, smoke or whatever, but it's like they got shit going on. And they don't have it easy, and it's not saying like it's okay to self-medicate, but a lot of people do. And so I like educating on like what exactly it can do to help. It can help reduce stress. It could help with like pain, inflammation,
eating disorders.
Yeah. And I've had a couple like I have people that come to me asking for help when it comes to like their parents or like they themselves that are going through stuff. Like I've helped a few chemo patients like going through cancer, and like that's fucking tough. Right? And it's like I'm doing everything I can to like let them know the options that they have with cannabis, because a lot of the medication that they're taking is just like weakening them. And they look for some help, and I'm like, I'm gonna show you what I know, and then you decide what you do with with the info.
Because a lot of people, I mean, not to knock all these hospitals, but fuck, all they're trying to do is just trying to get money.
Yeah, and it's sad, but like I spent a lot of my time in hospitals because of my parents. They're older, so I take care of them. And specifically, I started the cannabis stuff like with my mom, and I was at I think my junior or senior year of high school. And I was already studying weed. I was like, what can I do? I don't want her to keep taking these meds. Like, she can't even walk anymore. Her bones are just like deteriorated.
Yeah.
Because of like the arthritis, but also like the medication, it's just messing her up. She's basically like a zombie at this point. And so I spent a lot of time like at the hospital and seeing all these like sick people, and they just really brought me down, but made me look for an alternative medication. And then essentially I was like, you know what? No one's gonna like it, but I'm gonna start studying weed. And once I started college, I was like growing, my first plants, and started going from there. It's back when it was still illegal. And I was like, I'm gonna risk myself getting in trouble, but I'm gonna figure out a way to help my mom. You know, it's just one of those things. Like I'm a mama's boy,
Oh
so
yeah.
it's like I'm gonna do whatever it takes, and I'm to help. And I did, and I even told her I think when I was like, she reminded me a little bit ago when she started getting sick. The beginning of high school, I told her, I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna find a way to help you." I don't remember this, but she just recently told me. And now after, like towards my grad career, she's like, "You did it. Like, you found a way to help me, and now you're helping other people too." And that shit, like, it hit.
Bro, that's tight. That's sick. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like something you feel hella fucking proud of yourself
Yeah,
for.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Hell yeah, that's what's up, bro. Glad glad you're doing better.
Yeah, thank you.
No, hell yeah, that's dope. And then that's good though. Shit, I admire that. That's cool. Finding a different solution because there is many solutions for all these things that we go through or people get sick of. There's an alternative solution for it, the organic way too. Instead of having to take all these pharmaceuticals and all this shit. But it's sometimes it's kind of hard to have people understand how you say. They just look at it like some otras drogas, but bad drugs. They prefer, oh, this is good because it got prescribed by a doctor. But I'm like, in reality, they're the real drug dealers, bro.
And that's the thing, bro. The reason why my artwork is so personal is because it's based on stories that I see or stories that I go through, right?
Yeah.
So it's like with every painting, with every drawing, there's a little story attached. And I don't always say it, but like a lot of the times people can tell like the emotion behind it. It might be because of the time I spent on it, the quality of the work, or just the type of work that it is, right? Expression like based or whatever. But it's like all these pieces have a little bit of me inside, and that's what I feel makes my work kind of like distinct to myself. And a lot of artists that I went to school with, that's how they make the work, and that's like that's how we connected, and we I like enjoy talking about all that personal narrative stuff.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Sick. So, back to the videography. I mean, have you ever thought about doing like music videos for people, or actually or explore and expand that even more aside from your art? Because I know you said that's basically what you're doing the videography to videography, your art and all that. But do you ever expand it other than just that?
Yeah, honestly, it's always been in the back of my head. Like I really want to try it, and I feel like I will. Like it'll just happen. Like I won't even think about it. It'll just happen. But it can't be planned right now, cause like a lot of the time, like a lot recently, I've been planning to do certain projects, this and that, with certain artists, and they just last minute like it doesn't work out. So it's like, oh, man, like I when it's gonna happen, I want them to hit me up, hey, come through right now, and I'll do whatever I can with the equipment stuff.
No, yeah,
We'll get something done, and it's more than anything for me to practice, obviously.
no, yeah.
But yeah, I want to do it, and like I said, I'm pretty sure it'll happen, but it has to be organic. It has to be in the moment, and at least for now, maybe later on it could be something that who knows, I'll pick it up and I'll start doing like for other artists, like their videos and stuff. But it also has to do with the equipment. My camera, it's a little beginner camera. It's not like these $3,000, $4,000 cameras. So it's like it kind of hurts a little bit that I can't do that. But it's like I gotta hustle till I'm able to.
Exactly, and then sometimes the little modifications, like the thing that you're doing, that adds to the quality. So sometimes you don't really need a big expensive camera. You need something, but how you modifying it, that's the way you use it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that has to do a lot of them. But that's cool though. And what do you use right now, or what are you using like to edit your videos, or?
For the videos I use. It's the photo. It's like the video Photoshop. The hell's it called?
Adobe Premiere.
Yeah.
Okay.
I blanked out. Yeah, I use it. Yeah, I use Adobe.
That was sick.
Adobe Premiere, and then Photoshop for my images.
No, hell yeah.
And yeah.
No, yeah, I use the same thing. Adobe Premiere. Yeah, that was a good ass program, bro. You just kind of hard sometimes because it got a lot of tweaks on it. But once you get the hang of it,
Yeah. No, I gotta practice more because there's a lot of like different effects. I just don't know what they do, or like the intensity of certain little tweaks that you do
yeah,
or whatever. And I definitely need more practice in that. But yeah. So that yeah.
that's dope. Hell yeah, sick. And then, how long ago did you actually start? Well, when was the first time you actually picked up the camera?
Oh, bro, that's a funny story. So I bought this camera 7 years ago.
Oh, okay.
7 years ago, I bought the camera. I knew nothing about cameras. I knew how to turn it on, but that's it. Like I didn't know how to take pictures, basically. And I bought it for a beginner class because I was at Sonoma State, and I took a beginner photography class. And yeah, so I bought it, and I came in as a painter. So I was like an artist, but like painting emphasis. And there's like a group where it's like all photographers, and I was like, no, I gotta get in it. And I started, and then the first week I bought the camera, and the teacher's like, so, like, what are you doing here? I was like, oh, I want to learn how to do photography. She's like, well, you know how to use a camera? I was like, no, but I'll learn.
Yeah.
She's like, you might as well drop the class. I was like, oh no. And I got mad. I got heated. I was like, just for that, I'm a give it my all. Learn photo. I didn't even know what Photoshop was. Learn Photoshop, this and that. And I did hella good in the class. But it's for the same thing. I was putting myself in situations where like people weren't accustomed to seeing, right? Like my work was based off of my lifestyle, my life, my daily life.
Yeah.
And a lot of those like college students, they just were at the dorms or partied in the dorms or like off campus. And for me, it's like, no, I'm living in my town, so you're gonna see exactly what I see in my town.
Yeah.
It's like kicking it with the homies and just having fun.
Yeah, the way that you live, not the
Yeah.
way that these
And it's like the lifestyle, like people that are around me, like the game bangers, the druggies and stuff, drug dealers. So it's like they got to see a whole different lifestyle, and that's what made it a little unique. And I obviously had to like not partake in that lifestyle anymore, because then I was trying to become this artist, right?
Not yet.
Because like when you live through like those neighborhoods that are a little tough, you understand what it's like to like be on the streets. And I knew what it was like, but I didn't want to continue that because it took friends away, it took family members away. And once I started focusing on art, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give this everything I got and just run with it. And actually, when I started college, I was studying to be a nurse. Yeah, I was studying to be a nurse for the same reason. I was like, I gotta be able to help my parents. And yeah, so then once I started doing art like through classes, I was like, I'm not into this nurse stuff no more,
Like there's bigger things out there.
Yeah, and in a way, I was like, this ain't for me. Like I know I like helping people, but I don't think this is my calling. And once I started with the art, I was like,
this is it.
Yeah.
No, hell yeah, no, because sometimes everybody has a different path, everybody has a different motivation.
Yeah.
And once you actually find that, then that's what you actually should pursue instead of what you feel like you have to just because of the money and the career and all this. But I mean, shit, the money comes still with it, with what you love sometimes, you just gotta push it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say something too, that it's still like true in hella families. Like, yeah, I was doing nursing because like my parents needed it, but also because in my head was always ingrained like, any type of medicine or do any type of like nursing or something based with like government, right? You're gonna make money.
Oh yeah.
And then that was ingrained since day one. So I knew I wanted to do something to make money.
Yeah.
But my parents didn't force me to. They gave me the option. They're like, you do whatever you want to do because it's your life.
Yeah. And
then I felt bad. I felt like almost pressured. I was like, but I don't want to, I don't want to fail you guys. But they said like, whatever you decide, that like we're going to be proud of you. And that's when I was like, you know what? I'm going to do art. And that's why I was like, I'm going to do 150%. I'm not going to try to half-ass this. Because if I want to do something that I know is hard to get money and I know it's hard to do as a career, but if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it with my heart.
Yeah.
Like I'm no longer like I've always been good at like reading, not reading, but like school, you know,
Yeah.
getting shit done, and yeah, just like when it came to homework, when it came to tests, when all that, I'm good at studying, I'm good at homework, and just projects. So it's like all that I knew just got focused on the artwork, and then that's where like I started to discover myself. But it came from having that trust and freedom from my parents, which sucks is not a lot of people do, bro, especially in Latino communities, or specifically just I guess when it comes to like lower income or just like minorities, right? Like we have that kind of like social challenge.
Yeah.
You know, society just like puts a lot in our way to where we don't have that option. Luckily, I did, which is why I'm, you know, where I am now. But like I know a lot of people that don't have that option, and that's what like always like fucks with me too. In a way, it's like a little guilt because like, damn, I was able to do it, but homeboy wasn't or whatever.
Shit,
So
right?
that means you gotta do it right.
No, you gotta do it right. You gotta give it your all in what you really want to do in life. And then,
Yeah.
Or else you're gonna have that regret later on.
Yeah, bro.
Nah, hell yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah, I feel the same way. You know, you really gotta put in your all. If you like how you said, you know, like in this type of industry, it's kind of hard to get money out of it right away.
Yeah.
But if you put in your work, and you know you put in that effort, eventually everything come back around. But the same thing, you don't gotta wait for that opportunity. You gotta go and make that opportunity yourself.
Yeah.
Don't just sit around waiting for something, you know, because those people that are sitting around, they're not gonna get nothing.
Yeah, and it's also I struggled a lot with self-confidence because of it, right? Because you have this option that not many people do, but then you're like, oh, but like, why me? Type of thing. And it comes from that guilt. And it took me a lot to get over it. And it's still even recently too, like my professors are like, dude, you know, be confident in your work, be confident in yourself. And it really took a long time for me to realize like I'm here because these people see something in me that I maybe can't see yet. But like it's allowed me to push myself even harder. And I feel like that's what is motivating me now. Because like even now, like for example, one of my boys got me into tattooing.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, hey, just practice on the skin. You're a good drawer. Practice. I was like, man, you tripping. You know, like that's something you can't erase.
Yeah.
You can't work with your mistakes. No one's gonna like it when you say, oh shit, on their skin. You know?
Shit. I messed up.
Yeah. Oh.
Let's redo it.
Yeah, and like he just had the confidence in me, and I just started practicing on, you know, on fake skin. And then later on, I actually made a project just about tattooing and like what it meant. Like for me, growing up and seeing all the homies tatted up, it's like, oh, you know, they're like hustlers, they're, you know, they're like badass motherfuckers, but a lot of them get like stories tattooed on them, right? When they go through shit, or like their mom, their parents, or whatever, the set they rep, or you know, whatever it is.
The meaning.
There's a meaning behind it. And that piece that I did, it's like a meaning of tattoos that I would get if I was to be fully blasted. And it's like it had the year that I was born, my parents' initials, the laugh now, cry later. Like you gotta, you know, laugh at the moment and not show emotion because, you know, people think it's a weakness or whatever. Yeah. And that's kind of how I grew up too. And it's like that toxic mentality, you know. And yeah, so it's a lot of these things also like the fight between good and bad, right? The fight between temptation and doing what's right or whatever. So it's like all that stuff that I was thinking about. I just blasted this boxing dummy that I used to practice. I just blasted that full up, and yeah, and in a way it's like me tatting myself because that was like my boxing dummy, and also like I'm blasting him up, but I'm also, instead of like punching him and shit, I'm taking care of him by like cleaning the wounds when I'm tattooing or whatever. So it's like being gentle with this thing that you're supposed to be tough with, and it was, I don't know, it was like a healing process too.
Oh yeah, I seen that in your stories. That's sick.
Yeah.
No, that's dope though. Shit, you're getting better. And I just seen that you recently did another tattoo. You did one on yourself, and then
yeah. Well, I knew that I had to blast myself up before I was able to tattoo anyone, because I was like, I don't want to fucking practice on someone and fuck up their skin. So my boy's like, whenever you're ready, and then I just hit him up one day. I was like, hey bro, I'm ready. But I was saying like I'm ready to do it soon, and he's like, all right, Sunday. I was like, what the fuck? All right, fuck it. So yeah, so I blasted my leg. I mean, it's kind of big, but it's not fully done yet. And then after that, one of my boys hit me up, and he came to the house, and we were just chilling, and I was talking to him about the tattoos, and he started asking me questions like, hey, what do you have? Do you need anything else to tattoo right now? I was like, not really, but I just need to get the people. And he hella wanted to, and I was like, and we didn't set anything up, and he left. Like 5 minutes later, I called him. He probably not even 5 minutes. I called him. I was like, hey, we're trying to get tatted. Come back in an hour. And I set everything up, and he came back. It's like, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Damn. So one of my boys got my first piece.
Oh, that's sick, bro.
Yeah.
Nice. That's sick. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man, that's dope. Like, you gotta have people. Obviously, they don't gotta let you tat them, but like, you gotta have people that support you.
No, yeah,
right?
That support right there, letting you get on them.
Yeah, whether it's moral support or just patting your back when you need it. Like, you need those type of people around, and that's something that I've been, in a sense, like, yes, looking for, but acknowledging when I have it, because it's the same thing not a lot of people do. No. And I got blessed to be around all these people that they're pushing me, supporting me. So
that's tight, bro.
Taking that into account.
That's what that's all that matters sometimes. You don't really, like, there's that saying, like, you don't in support, it doesn't always come with a form of money.
No, yeah.
It's always just like, shit, you support me, just share my shit. Like, support me, show me that you actually care or there for that. Not just,
or that open doors too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, just if it comes with, like, for example, someone sharing like, oh, my boy does a podcast. You got a new listener now.
Not yet. Exactly.
Or for like me, like, oh, Gio does art. Oh, well, let me check out his page. You got someone else looking at your stuff now. And honestly, the biggest supporters that I've had that have made the biggest difference have been professors. That's crazy. Like, they're the ones that, like, they see something.
They see something,
and they're like, nah, bro, like, take care of yourself, and like, keep it straight. Don't be stupid, but also keep doing work. Like, don't fall into the lazy grind where you're just like doing bare minimum. Keep it up. And they opened doors for me, and it also allowed some of that confidence to come in. But it's like they keep me on check too, like, make sure you're doing your stuff, because at the end of the day they know the grind. So it's who am I gonna trust? My boy, who like tells me like, you got this, or this teacher that's like opening a door. Like, you trust both of them, but one of them knows a little bit more than the other.
One is actually kind of like in the field,
the
same field that you're in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've seen a lot of people, like, probably like you and all that, or
and they've seen people break.
Exactly.
Right. So they make you take care of yourself.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it's fucking crazy. Like I said, I'm blessed to have all these people in my corner, and they're rooting for me. So I'm doing everything I got.
Oh, that's sick, bro. Hell yeah. And shit will pop off soon, man. Hey,
yeah, bro.
One way or another, it has to,
Yeah, it'll come up, and I also went into this like career knowing that it won't be easy.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have a lot of like stairs to climb, but the more you climb, the more closer you are to the top.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And also, like, another thing that I always think about too is like bringing people with you. Oh, yeah. So like, if I know someone that does like art or whatever, and we keep in contact, I like to talk to them about their art and give them the insight that I know, and like, question them a little bit just so they can stay on their toes too. And when someone comes around that is able to lift them up more, they're ready for it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I was caught off guard a lot, but luckily, it's it comes with like the street stuff. Like, I know how to treat people.
Oh yeah.
Like, you can tell how it's, in a way, it's almost like sweet talking, right? It comes with the territory too. Oh, but like that helped me a lot, and it's also like being myself. Like, right. That's a big plus, because I could fake being this whatever person, but at the end of the day, like, you have to keep up that act.
Oh,
you get
for
tired.
so long.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, hell no. That's why it's like shit. You just gotta express yourself, be yourself, no matter what. You know, you don't paint this picture to someone just because trying to be cool or whatever. You know, I mean, shit. And people really fuck with you. They're gonna fuck with you for the person you are. You know,
Yeah.
and that's how you're supposed to be, man. You know, I mean, shit. Like how we were talking back, social media. Social media plays a big role. You know, people have been probably think, oh, this is you all the time. You know, but social media is just to put your work out there too. You
Yeah.
know, like to really not to be like, oh, putting all your feelings out there. You know, it's more like to express your work
Yeah.
and but you know.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part too, that people get stuck on that mentality of like, for example, it's happened to me too, where it's you're posting, I'm doing all this, right? Like, and it's like something fun and something like, for example, like when I go up to the bailes or whatever, it's like I'm posting all that, but I was like 1 or 2 days, right? And then the rest of the time I'm just chilling or just getting work done and like putting in work. And it's like people don't see that aspect of it. But I've also learned to keep a lot of that putting in work to myself, because a lot of people don't like to see you put in work.
Yeah,
And
they just
I've
start.
learned that the
Yeah,
hard way, right? I've learned that the hard way, and it's like, damn. And luckily though, I've had like homies keep me in check. They're like, dude, don't mess around, be smart, make it out the hood, do something like with your life. And I'm like, no, I feel it.
oh yeah,
But
have to.
yeah, yeah, but people get caught up in that
The
that lifestyle too.
Yeah, and exactly. And then shit, if you already passed through it, don't fall back on it. You know, you're
Yeah,
supposed to elevate, not downgrade, man.
yeah, and that's the thing too. Like when you live in the same environment, it's a little harder. So
Yeah.
when you have all these temptations around you, it's like it's a constant battle, right?
Yep.
But we gotta stay strong.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Oh,
Yeah.
No, but that's dope. Hell yeah. And so, what work do you have right now coming up? Like, you have any projects you're working on?
Yeah. So I got that SF the airport piece, and that one's actually gonna be it's gonna be up sometime later this year, and it'll be up for a few months.
Oh,
And it's a portrait piece. So the theme of the project is home. And again, one of my professors hit me up because she's like, I'm gonna do a kind of like a project with the airport. And I was wondering if you wanted to be an artist. I was like, hell yeah, hell yeah,
Like, I'm in there.
yeah. I was like, hell yeah, and I was like super thankful. And then the theme is home, so it's like all these different artists, both undergrad and I don't know if I think one more grad student, or maybe I'm the only one. I don't know, but it's like a few different artists. They're gonna do their take on what home means to them, and to me, like home is where your people are.
Yeah.
Right, and home can be either a structure like a house or whatever, or it can be an emotion like when you feel comfortable.
Yep.
But to me, it's like home is where you have your people, and for that project, I got a few family members to pose, and like I got brought them together, and it's like, you guys are my home, right? Homies also, but like when I see them, or when we get together, that peace that comes with like the unity, that peace that comes with like the kickbacks and just being ourselves, like to me that's home. So yeah, so I'm gonna do portraits of them,
Oh, that's dope.
and yeah, so that'll be, oh, and it's with Cannabis Inc.
Oh, yeah, you were saying that. So
Yeah,
that's
so
dope.
it's like I make my own Cannabis Inc. That's like I think my favorite part of the piece, because it's something that I haven't really been able to showcase like publicly.
And you're about to get that shot now. Huh?
Yeah, and thanks to my professor.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah,
Like, shout out your professor.
yeah, Libby Black.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
she's hella popping right now. She actually just did a podcast like a couple days ago.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, she did a podcast, and she's pretty big in SF.
Oh, for real?
That's why I was like, damn, that's crazy. She's giving me this shot. And I think she's just big, like in general. Like she's really popular in the art world.
What does she go by her name or what is her?
Libby Black.
Black.
Yeah, she does artwork that is made out of paper. So she'll make actual objects made out of paper.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's
Like crumble
crazy.
paper or
Uh,
just like pieces of paper combined together.
Legit, no, just different pieces of paper, and she'll use glue and paint them, and she could probably recreate this can, and it'll fucking
Shit,
out of paper.
I kind of seen some like there's a couple artists I can't remember the names that did like for the album covers like little pieces of paper like just to fuck I forgot and then it'll kind of come like out of the face would come out
Yeah, so it's like that, and
that's sick.
yeah, she actually she used to teach at my undergrad, like right before I was
Uh-huh.
before I was there, and a little bit after, and then she left, and then yeah.
Okay, that's cool stuff. Shit.
Yeah.
So you say you graduated though already, right? You just graduated.
Yeah, I just graduated from San Francisco State with my master's.
Oh, sick! Congrats, bro. Hell yeah,
Yeah.
sick. So, but still, besides that, they've still been keeping in touch. You guys still talk and all that.
Yeah.
That's how you got connected with that.
Yeah, we keep in touch, and she's actually still a professor at SF State,
Uh-huh.
and I'm about to teach a class this upcoming spring.
Oh,
So I'm gonna be a drawing professor there for
Oh.
a semester. Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so they gave me these opportunities, so I'm like just taking them. I was nervous,
yeah.
but you got to do it.
You gotta do it. Hell
Yeah.
Can't, like I said, you wanted this career. Now you gotta take every single shot that comes your way.
Yeah.
And that's dope that they're giving you that opportunity too.
Yeah, bro. They trusted me with it, so I'm like, I'm not gonna let them down. I'm gonna run with it.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Give everything I got, and it'll show.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Hearing this shit, hell yeah, bro. It's dope. And then shit, you're gonna keep it going one day at a time, Shit.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna do that, and that's just a semester. But after that, I'm hopefully gonna apply at a university level and teach there. I don't know what university or what college, but that's like the next step, and then that'll be a way of income to also keep bringing in like new projects.
Yeah, it's
right?
like how do you say it's just your investment.
Yeah, because I making artwork takes money.
Oh yeah, I bet.
And it takes less for me just because I grow my own weed, so it's like I make my own medium, but it still requires some money to get some of the supplies, and yeah, but yeah, I'll do that, and then hopefully keep tattooing, and that'll be another source of income.
Shit, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Little business like this, it just keeps going
and
going.
Yeah, and then once I get money flowing, then I'll be able to do, bigger work or whatever. Stuff that
at least it'll be in the way that you're working, but with work that you love doing, you like doing, you enjoy it. It's not like something like fuck, okay, here we go again.
Yeah. No, like I've been through like the 9 to 5s and fucking working 6 a.m. to like 9-10 p.m.
Yeah.
So like I've been through that. So I know what the suffering is too, and it's cool. But if I get a chance to do it through something that's a little more my alley, I'm definitely gonna take that.
Definitely. Yeah. Shit, like why put pain in your ass if you could do it the right way? But it just takes a lot of work though. But shit, it takes a lot of work to go to work too. So fuck it, why not do it with something that that you could do from you?
Yeah, and then the thing is too that when you work for yourself, there is really no time off, right? Because when you're working for yourself, you gotta put in the work because you're not off at that 5 o'clock.
No, you gotta keep going.
Yeah, so it's like you gotta do more work, but it's work that you're happy to do. So that's my goal too, be able to do that, and hopefully the opportunities come and I'll jump on them and make shit happen.
No, hell yeah, for sure. It's dope, bro. But shit. So, what social medias do you have right now? Like, where people could look you up to look at your work, or get in contact with you for anything? And then you said you're gonna be tattooing soon too.
Yeah.
So, you plan on making a page for that as well?
I have a page that I use for my as my art portfolio. Because I have my main Instagram, Jiobuzzed. But then I have a page that I use for my art portfolio, so I'm thinking of just swapping that and making that the tattoo page. But I'm also thinking of making my main page just for everything. But then it's gonna be super cluttered, right?
Clutter, yeah.
So I might hold back on making that extra page. But Jiobuzzed, JIOBUZZED, that's where I got all my work. And then on there, I got my website, and they could contact me through whatever. I think my email's on there, and Instagram, DMs, whatever.
Okay, for sure. Yeah. And then, well, bro, thanks for coming. And you got anything else you'd like to add before we cut it?
Just hope everyone enjoyed listening, watching, and tuning in, and yeah, hope everyone has a good day.
Yeah, continue to look at his work and keep flowing, and then shit, bro. We'll try to catch up again on another one, and then see how everything else has been going from here to then, you know?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. So shit. But thanks for coming out, bro.
Course,
Appreciate
bro.
it.
Thank you for having me.
No, hell yeah, bro. So this does a podcast. Jiobuzzed. We out.